Alrighty, so this week's video I'm going to be moving and rehousing Ball my tarantula as well as Leviathan, the Conjucosa bicolor. So what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be swapping their enclosures. Ball will be going into something smaller and Leviathan will be going into this. So the reason I'm doing this is because Leviathan will not settle in that enclosure. I think it's too small for her. And Bal is an old man with an abdomen injury, so I think he would benefit from downgrading a little bit so he can find his food better, and I can monitor him a little more. Now the problem comes where I have to catch them, so I don't think that Leviathan will be too much of an issue, but he's definitely going to be a bit of a problem. For him I have this catch cup. I'm hoping that he's nice and easy for me, but I have a feeling it's not going to be. I've got this camera angle because I currently only have one camera and not two, so it'll all be filmed from this angle. Alrighty. His sign back there is, I feel, going to be very appropriate for what I'm about to do. Okay, that was easier than I thought it would be. Easy, I don't want to pinch any of your little toesies. There we go. He's really unhappy with the situation he's currently in. And I don't really blame him. You can see that abdomen injury. His spinnerets there. He's very grumpy with me right now, and I don't really blame him. Alright, you can just sit there for the moment, bud. Alrighty, I'm going to catch Leviathan as well before I start doing anything. Now, hopefully she'll be nice and easy to catch. As long as she doesn't bolt. Where's my... As she doesn't bolt and run up and out, I feel like it should be a nice, easy. Come on, this way. She's currently having a meal of cricket. Oh, speaking of cricket, Jesus. Hit me hurt. Oh, where'd it go? Excuse me, ma'am. I don't want to hurt you. She just dropped the cricket that she was eating. Excuse me. Alrighty, get got. And got her too. That was surprisingly anticlimactic. Alrighty, I'm gonna clean out her enclosure first, I think. Just so I can transfer Ball substrate directly in here and make my own life a little bit easier. I've found that this excavated clay mix does tend to scratch, so just be aware of that if you're removing it in your own enclosures, that it is scratchy. I'm just going to break it up so that it comes out nice and easy. If need be for cleaning out enclosures, you can use a vacuum to get rid of the dust, but because I'm going to be putting dirt straight back in it, I'm not going to bother. I've used vacuums to clean dust out of enclosures before. It works really well. I got some on my carpet. Oh. Might take some paper towel, some wet paper towel, and wipe it down. And now I'm actually going to reuse the substrate from Baal's enclosure, since it does have springtails and all kinds of beneficial stuff in it. Oh wow. You can really see the springtail colony. All that white stuff, that's not mold, those are all baby springtails. That's incredible. I'll put that back in there, just keeping it aside. I'll need his water dish, of course. Now I will say none of this will be getting thrown away. I will reuse a lot of this substrate for other stuff, especially since it does have live springtails in it. Alright, we'll start putting these moss pads in. Put this water dish back here underneath this sign. Stick. Alrighty, I'll give it all a spray down. This is a nice, simple enclosure for this old man. Tap some more springtails in. Clean off this lid. Take my brush and just clean off the outside here because I made a bit of a mess. More springtails. Can never have enough springtails. In my opinion, anyway. Alrighty, and that's ready for Baal to just go straight in. So I'm going to turn this like this. I'm going to unclip that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this in. Yeah, that is the latch side. And I'm just going to open that like that. Okay, this one's just sticky tape, and I might even just rip it off. And then I'm just going to close that, and hopefully he just comes out on his own. And then I'll pop him back up on the shelf where Leviathan was. So as you can see, this is his new enclosure. Just nice and simple for this old man. Alright, a nice big bucket that I use for fish water changes. There's just a bit of sand in it. That's all that's in there. Nothing dangerous. And I'm just going to use that to hold all this substrate, because I want to be able to reuse it. All this nice bioactive substrate. Alrighty, this enclosure is quite covered in dirt. So I'm gonna go give it a rinse and look at how much dirt. This is a 20-liter bucket. I'm gonna go give this enclosure a clean down, and I'll be back. Ugh. I will say, this enclosure is just huge. So this is the terrestrial XL from Tarantula Cribs, and it is just humongous. At 45 centimeters long by 30 by 30 or 30 by 35, it is just massive. This is the second or the third largest Tarantula Cribs enclosure, I believe. With the largest being their new curved one, of course. At a whopping, I believe it's 2 feet, so roughly 60 centimeters long. Just massive, pretty much. It was probably a little overkill for a tarantula to kind of begin with. But I like my spider to enclosure ratio to just be a little higher. I'm not going to bother trying to get all the moisture out of it because I'll be here for forever. Alrighty, now I'll start with the substrate that I took out. Start with that. And since it's dried out a fair bit, I'm actually going to wet it down. The excavated clay is quite dusty. I would probably recommend wearing a mask when working with it. Personally, I work with things that are a little more toxic than some dust, so I'm not too worried. I'll get black lung long before I get silicosis. This is gonna take me some time. It's just gonna be like 10 minutes of silent footage of me just mixing this enclosure, this substrate, because I'm gonna have to make a few more of these containers worth to get my desired depth. Right, I don't want to take up all my phone's memory with me doing this, so I'm going to stop recording and start again when I've achieved my desired depth. Honestly, I like the depth. So now it's time to decorate. So I'm going to use this nice kind of fake like rock background. And I know it's supposed to go like that, but I'm gonna use it like this. I'm gonna use it like this. It's supposed to go like that. But I like the kind of cave look it gives like this. And so I'm just gonna nestle that just kind of there. I'm gonna make sure it's flat against the back, otherwise she's gonna stuff herself into it. Alrighty, I've got this really nice piece of Mopani wood. I really like the way it looks. It's like almost like roots that I'm going to put. I think there's a nice place for it. Kind of use it to separate the enclosure. Yeah, I like that. I've got this nice kind of rocky hide. I'll see if I can fit this in without it looking strange. No, I don't think so. It can be used for something else. I'll use the decorations from the old enclosure, so the 2 cactuses and the water dish. I'll put the water dish up over here, I think. And I will bury the cactuses. I think I'll put the barrel cactus back here. And the tall cactus I think I'll put over here. Alrighty. I'm liking how that's looking so far. And I'll find that 3D print hide. I do still want to include it in the front corner. Alright, I'll re-add these in a second, I think. I'm just going to move everything I just added out of the way. Alrighty, and we'll pop this tall cactus down in the front corner like it was. I feel like it needs more. Like maybe some rocks. I have these rocks that I have from an old fish tank. Oh yeah, I think that helps it blend really nicely, actually. I've got this little cat skull that I was using in my Menemris bivivatus enclosure that I could use, maybe. Could pop it like there or something. Some sphagnum moss for humidity. And I think I'll pop that in this corner back here. Yeah. Poof. Just put it everywhere. Yeah, I think I like that. I think that looks good. Some random rocks. Just to kind of tie everything together. How heavy are you? Oof. Yeah, I can't really lift that to show. So I will... Here we are. How nice is that? Alrighty, that looks lovely. So what I'm going to do is, instead of the lid that I had on it previously, which is this one, I actually have a more ventilated lid. There, this is the max vent lid for this enclosure. And since she's a desert-dwelling species, I think that this max vent lid will be better. Alrighty, I'll fill up her water dish. She's gone back to eating that cricket. Alrighty, and now I'll put her just straight in. I'm not too worried. Wolf spiders can't climb smooth surfaces, so I'm not too worried about her bolting and getting out. There we go. Oop. I'm also going to take some of this water and I'm just going to put it on that sphagnum moss in the corner, just to keep that humidity up. Yeah, I really like that. I really like how she looks in there too. Alrighty, so that was today's video. Just me swapping over Leviathan and Baal, my wolf spider and my tarantula. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications icon, as well as follow me over on Instagram. Yeah, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.